Hi, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful presentation, a very, very profitable presentation for you. I have the great joy to have with us Joseph Compton, who is a digital marketer and entrepreneur dedicated to helping people win with online marketing and sales. He got started a few years ago doing this stuff, and he's been going at it full time ever since. He's been very, very successful, and he's grown a pretty beautiful and large tribe, I would say, around him. He is growing audiences across multiple platforms, and he earned over 6 figures as a digital marketer, and also has helped hundreds of others build their following and generate leads online. And so today he will share with us how to have a sales funnel profits unlocked. So if you want to, make more money, help more people, grow your business, scale your brand, then this presentation is for you. And I'll shut up right here and I'll give it away to Joseph. Thank you so much for saying yes to our invitation, Joseph.
No, thank you, Eugene, for the wonderful introduction. I appreciate it, and I'm grateful for the chance to be able to be here and help everyone who's watching. Hopefully, unlock more success and profits in their lives, with sales funnels.
Hallelujah!
Yes, yes. So I've been in this game for a while. I first was introduced to sales funnels. Really, I first learned about them back in 2017. I was working for a guru at the time, a real estate investing guru, a coach, selling his products and stuff. And I was really fascinated because, so we sold on the phone, but we could also text a link to, things that we thought people needed, and they would purchase them, but then they would be able to buy something else from that link and then buy something else from that link. And so I would make like 3 sales off of one link from one person. And I'd be like, wow, this is amazing. That is incredible that I can send the link to one product and they end up buying 3 or maybe 4, at different price points within that. Basically, it was a funnel. I didn't know that's what it was at the time. I just knew that I was making sales, and so that was really my first introduction. And then, back in 2019, if you're familiar at all, I went through a challenge with Russell Brunson called the One Funnel Away Challenge. And that's when I finally understood the meaning behind everything that I had learned up until that point, just as a salesperson, wow, I could do this for myself. I don't have to use somebody else's link and make 10 or 12% or whatever. It wasn't that much that I made off of those sales, at the time. But I could, do that for myself, or even as an affiliate, make, way more money. So I decided that was the path I wanted to take. Faced quite a bit of adversity, trying to make that happen. And so, but now here we are, basically 4 years later, and I get to do this full time. I build funnels each and every day. And so really excited to share what I've learned with you guys. I've gone through a lot of hardship and trial and error and difficulties, to learn what I'm going to share with you guys here today. But hopefully I can help you guys circumvent all of that so that you can just get right to the money. Unlike me, it took me a long time to figure out how to actually make money with this stuff. So with that being said, I will share my screen here and just kind of give you guys a layout of, my process now and how I actually go about doing this. And I'm going to be talking from the funnel building standpoint primarily. I'll talk a little bit about I can talk a little bit about prospecting and stuff if you want me to, but the actual this is what a funnel is and what it does type of thing. So I'll share my screen here. And I'm going to go to my trusty tool that I love to use. And if you want to build funnels for other people or even just for yourself, I highly recommend this tool right here. It's called Giru. And basically this is a funnel mapping software. So you can design out your funnels based on this. And for anyone who's not familiar with funnels, I don't know what context most people are coming into this with, but think of a funnel or a sales funnel as a website 2.0. It's basically a sequence of web pages linked together to take someone through a sales process. So I was a car salesman for a while, and I would have to manually move them through a sales process. And so I'd go out and catch them on the lot, and then I'd bring them in and tell them about, find out what their needs are as far as a vehicle goes, go out and test drive it, come back, try to come to an agreement on it, pitch them, close a deal, and then take them into finance where they were upsold on, whatever finance packages were available there, and then on service and all that stuff. And so that's a funnel. But instead of doing that in person manually with my body having to make things happen, we let the funnel do the work, taking them through that process. And so I'm going to create a new one here, and we'll just say summit example. So when it comes to building a funnel, first and foremost, you want to make sure you understand your audience, basically where the traffic is coming from. Like what kind of traffic do you want to have coming in? What's their pain? What's their struggles? What humiliates them? What keeps them up at night? What causes pillow talk between them and their spouse? And then try to find the solution for that. And so keep that in mind. That's the most important thing. People, when they first come into this, they think about like, what do I want to sell? And like that's nice. And we all have things that we enjoy, but something that I enjoy selling, other people may not enjoy buying. Right. And so we've got to make sure that we are coming into this with an understanding of what their biggest pain is and how we can actually solve that. It's about them, not about us and our wishes, but theirs. Right. Yeah. So that's the most important thing, is keeping in mind your traffic source. So we'll say for this one, we'll just say I pretty much do everything organically. I don't pay for ads or anything for myself. I don't really need to. People come to me. I get leads pretty much every single day, 100% organically. So we'll just say traffic source. So I do a lot of stuff on Facebook. I also can add, I do quite a bit on YouTube as well. So we'll just add YouTube. All right, so we have our traffic source. Now we want to be able to basically convert these people into traffic that we own. If you've read any of Russell Brunson's books, I'm a huge fan of his. He talks about traffic that you earn, traffic that you control, and then traffic that you own. So this is traffic that we can earn because we are going out there, we're putting our face out there, we're creating content, we're giving value, and people start to notice us, right?
Can you please, before going any further, can you please explain very briefly the difference between the different types of traffic? Like, what do they mean?
Yeah, so traffic that you earn is traffic that you're like sweat equity, hustle, like you are actively promoting yourself by, like the way that I do it is through creating posts, videos, shorts and reels, Facebook groups, that type of stuff. Basically, you're leveraging the algorithms of the different platforms that you may be on. I recommend just starting with one at first. Like I did pretty much everything on Facebook, in the beginning, and now I'm branching more into YouTube because I'm pretty well established on Facebook. But that's traffic that you earn. Traffic that you control is paid ads. So if you use Facebook ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads, LinkedIn ads, whatever, that you can control that. You're not having to earn it necessarily because it's not the same type of work. Like you don't have to post every day or create a video every day. You just set up an ad. You may have to switch it out because of ad fatigue and all that stuff, but it's different. So it's traffic that you control and you can direct them to your funnel. And then traffic that you own is your list. And that's where we want people to end up, because once they're on your list, now you don't have to work for them anymore. And you don't have to pay for them anymore. They're there. Obviously, you need to stay consistent with, emailing them on a regular basis and that type of stuff. But now they're on your list, and that's yours. You don't have to get it from anyone else because it's already yours. You've got it, and that's where we want people to end up. And so that's where the first step in the funnel really starts: is how do we get them into our list? How do we basically turn them into traffic that we own? Because from YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and any of these other places, that's their traffic right now. They own it, they control it. You want to make it traffic that you own and control. So we do that through a free offer of some sort. And we do that with what's called an opt-in page. So an opt-in page basically, or sometimes it's called a squeeze page, a landing page. basically you're offering something for free in exchange for their contact information. Usually in the beginning, just their email address. The more you ask for, the less likely they are to actually become a lead. Once you get them on your email list, now you can follow up with them. If you need more information or want more information, you can do that, later, either through an appointment or a purchase or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we just want to get them on our email list to start. And we do that with an opt-in page. So that on the opt-in page, it says, hey, 3 ways that you are leaving money on the table by not having a sales funnel or something, right? Download our free guide, get access to our free video course or free video tutorial or whatever. And so it's an exchange. You're not asking for money yet, but you are asking for their information in exchange for something, right? And so that's how you build up your list. And the bigger your list, the more freedom you can actually have. So we have the opt-in page. Now this is where we move them into the funnel. Now we can take them to what's called a thank you page. And on the thank you page is where we give them access to whatever we promised them in exchange for their information. But then we can also make an offer now. So more money is made on the thank you page than pretty much anywhere else in the funnel. And I say that because this is where basically, we've captured their information, and now we can follow up with them as well. But then on the thank you page, we make that offer of whatever's next in the funnel. It's like, hey, you got this free PDF, you got this free video, you got this free guide, this free ebook. If you think that's good, imagine, how much better your results would be if you actually worked with me in some capacity. So we would call this some sort of low ticket offer. It could be like a, like in my case, let's say we have, some sort of free funnel building guide or something. And then on this page, we would say, hey, I actually have a course that will teach you everything that I know about funnel building for, $20 or $30 or $50 or $100 or whatever, something low ticket, low barrier, as we call it. Then we can take them from there into an actual a sales page, pretty much, where they can actually make a purchase. So we'll add a product here. We'll just say course. And we'll just say the price for that is, we'll just say $49. All right, so now we have a sales page. We can take them into an order of some sort. And these don't have to be separate pages, although they could be. These could both be on the same page. It doesn't really matter. So now, we can capture not just their contact information, but their payment information. If that's how, depending on your business model, you can upsell them into something. Another way that you could do this is, like if you're in solar or real estate or roofing or something like that, a services based thing, then instead of taking them to it could be a sales page, but instead of an order page, just as an alternative, we'll just say, it could be like either an appointment with a calendar. If I can find it over here, right here. So we could take them to the calendar instead of to the sales page, where we get an actual appointment, and that's where we can capture the rest of their information, right? Or it could be, an application to actually work with you in some capacity. There's so many different directions that you can take it from this right here. And you could even start, I can go in so many different directions. I'm going to try to stay focused here, but the point is, you can think of each of these like Legos, like building blocks, and you can put them together in so many different ways. It's insane. So, but going back to this example though, I'm just going to, since I have squirrel ADD syndrome here, we'll stay focused on this. So from here, now that you've captured their contact information, now you've captured their payment information, they've purchased something, now you can upsell them on something, kind of like I talked about with the car sales analogy. You sell them a car, now you can sell them warranties and service packages and that type of stuff. So from here, we could do some sort of it'd be like, and kind of a good process that I like to take people through with this is, basically there's 3 levels of service that you can render to somebody. It's number 1 is like a DIY, do it yourself. Like basically if they purchase a course from this, it's do it yourself. Here's the information, now go figure it out. Then there's a done with you, which would be like coaching or It could be one-on-one or group coaching. And then there's done for you. So it's like, hey, here's all this stuff. You don't have time. You don't want to mess with it. I'll actually do this stuff that I've already established that I'm an expert at for you. So you don't have to go through the learning curve of figuring out how all of this stuff comes together. I'll just take care of it for you. So those are kind of the 3 levels of the value ladder that I like to take people through with this. So now this could be like, we'll say this one is, a coaching package of some sort. Like, hey, get an hour or 2 with me, and I'll show you how all of this stuff works. And we can add, I'm not gonna worry about adding another product yet. And then we could upsell them one more time, if we wanted to. I don't recommend any more than 2 upsells, because after that, people get kind of upset. We call it upsell hell, where it's like, hey, here's another thing. Hey, here's another thing and another thing. It's like, no more things. Right. But then this could be like a done for you type of thing. So it's like, hey, I've told you everything about how to build funnels. Maybe, doing it yourself or even with my guidance isn't a good fit for your schedule or your desires or whatever. Just have me take care of it. Right. And then from there, then we do a final thank you page or legitimate thank you page / confirmation page. Hey, thanks so much for all your purchases or purchase. Thank you for your purchase. Here's how to get access. So that's kind of just a basic introductory funnel that you can take somebody through that can actually help you start making some money pretty quickly, completely organically, really. Just doing it the way that I've done it. And it works, so, and these could take many different forms. We did a challenge where, and we have another one coming up, but, I had an opt-in page, thank you page, and then the sales page was, hey, come join the challenge for $49. And then after that, hey, join the VIP ticket option with the challenge for $97. And then after that, it's like, hey, come join our coaching program or get access to our course, blah, 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 from there. So that's kind of just a general idea of a funnel.
How difficult? I mean, it looks very good the way you build it up, but like for somebody who is, let's say, not so skilled technically as you are right now, that looks like something they will never be able to achieve. So how actually easy or complicated or difficult is it to create this?
I recommend starting off with templates. For most people who are just barely getting into it, because it can be overwhelming. I remember when I first got into it and, I first logged into a software like ClickFunnels and I felt like my brain was going to explode. Like, what are all of these things, like sections, rows, elements? What the heck are you talking about? Columns? Like, there's just too many colors, too much stuff going on. I don't know how to make all this stuff come together. And so in my opinion, the simplest way to get started is just to start practicing. One of the things that I did when I was first getting into it was just, I would if you scroll on Facebook or really any platform, of course, you're going to see ads, right? And so I would just come across random ads and then I click the link just to look like, just to see if are they using a funnel? Are they using a website? Like, what are they doing? If they were using a funnel and I liked it, I would try to duplicate it. I would try to just recreate it. Not because I wanted to copy them and rip them off, but just to have the experience of what did they do to make it look like this? What did they do to put all of the pieces together and actually going through the process? And so that's where things come into place, having a swipe file. Like, for me, a swipe file has been absolutely a game changer, because I can save and retain all these funnels that I come across and look back to them either for inspiration or to get ideas for creating funnels in the future. And so what that would look like is if you go to so Facebook ad library is like my favorite place to do research on what funnels people are using.
Wow.
So awesome. you can actually see what funnels people are running. And you can see here, I've done some searches for some of our clients here recently. Let's just say, like personal finance. And typically the longer an ad has been running, the more successful it's probably been, the more money it's probably made, right? So I like to try to go as far back as possible, like maybe 2 or 3 months. at the most, but like 30 days is typically fine. So like this one started on April 1st. It's still running. So maybe this one is doing pretty well. It may not be the right type of funnel. Okay. So basically what they have here is like it's a pre-qualification application, pretty much. I don't think this is a great thing to run an ad to, but if it's working for them, basically what I would do is I would try to recreate this page. Like, okay, how do I get the logo up here? How do I get this background with this text over it right here? How do I set up, a form that asks for all of this information? How do I get a button that does what this does? How do I get this footer at the bottom right here that with this color and with all these clickable text? And how do I add, the reCAPTCHA down here and all that stuff? And just figure it out. Just go through the process. Obviously, I'm not going to actually use it, but I want to figure out how everything comes together and works together, so that if I do have a client who's, trying to run ads to get people who want to pre-qualify for some sort of personal loan, as an example, I've got that figured out. Now I can switch out their logo and the wording and the background, but have the overall general layout in place. And that I can use over and over. If I'm working with different personal loan, clients, I can use the same thing over and over and just switch things out.
Got it.
But just going through that experience of like just trying to duplicate it so that you can see how it all comes together makes it way easier. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Obviously, when you first get into anything, you didn't hop on a bike for the first time and just immediately start riding. Like you had to try and fall down and then get back on and try again until you figured it out. And then before long, you're able to do it with no hands. Right. And so it's just the repetition of practicing it over and over and over. I'm not like, some people may argue that I'm predispositioned to be good at this, but I don't believe that. I think that, for anybody who wants to get good at this kind of thing, you just have to do it over and over until you get it down. And I'm still learning, I'm still figuring stuff out. Like there's still things that I come across where I'm like, I have no idea how to recreate that. So, if you're not technically inclined towards being able to do this, you can figure it out with enough practice. But you got to go through, I've been through hundreds of other people's funnels and like seeing how they organize things and, how they position the buttons and the fonts and, the size of the text and the colors they use and the backgrounds they use and all that stuff. Like I try to pay attention to all of that.
So let me ask you this: when you are creating your funnel, do you always like build it up in value? Like here's a free PDF, and then on the thank you page, because I like very much what you said, more money is made on the thank you page than anywhere else in a funnel, right? So basically you give somebody a free PDF to download, and now they come to you, run an ad, they come to your page, they get a free PDF, and then they are taken to a thank you page, right? And then on that thank you page, you say, hey, here is a $7 short video, which will help you understand better X, Y, Z. And then they purchase that, and then they have a next thank you page where they say, hey, by the way, here's $47 another program, and then here's a 97, and here's a 297, and here is a 997, and here is a 497. So so it's like, is it always going up? Is it ever kind of come down, or how is it?
I mean, I haven't personally done this, but there is a downsell option. So basically, you could sandwich something like this in between. So it's like, hey, if you didn't want the course that's $497, here's a downsell. Basically, I'm going to give you a last ditch effort chance here to get it for $297, or for 3 payments of $197 or whatever, right? Like some sort of like, hey, maybe you can afford that one, but here's an option where you can afford it, type of thing. Or here's something alternative that's not as good, but maybe will fit your budget, your situation, or whatever. And that's where, because when you're in face-to-face sales, you have the luxury of being able to see people's faces, their reactions to things, and adjust and tweak how you're coming at them so that you can still make the sale. You don't have that luxury online, obviously. So you have to try to take every situation and circumstance in mind as much as possible, and try to duplicate that in the digital world. But a sale is a sale is a sale. Buyers are buyers are buyers. You can figure out what the biggest hurdles are going to be as time goes on, and prepare for those within the funnel itself. So.
And you were saying that earlier. I'm just gonna kind of interject through your presentation here because I have a few questions coming up. But then I'll let you continue with it. So, is there like an industry-based standard? Like, hey, if you're selling physical products, you have X amount of upsells versus if you sell digital products, you have this amount of upsells. Is there some sort of a limit, like how many upsells you should have?
I mean, it's something that you can test. Because if you look at just as an example, like Warren Buffett, he's got his Berkshire Hathaway real estate holdings. And then he also owns, furniture companies that he can upsell his home buyers into, and then insurance, and like you can have as many upsells as you want. I wouldn't recommend putting them all in the same funnel. So like for a single funnel, I would say, maybe 2 at the most. So the other thing I didn't mention is you can have the order form. You can also have on that same order form an order bump, where it's like, hey, is there something, like the candy bar at the checkout aisle at the grocery store. It's like, hey, here's just something real quick, impulse buy $20 that will complement what you're getting or something. Right. So main order bump, and then 2 upsells, I would say would be the max that you would want to do for a funnel typically. But now, now you've got all of these people, and let's say, we don't want to necessarily, or, maybe there's another level to what we can offer. So like this could be just a done for you funnel. It was like, hey, have us not just build your funnel for you, but run your whole marketing department for you. Here's an application that you can fill out to see if that's going to be a good fit. I don't mean for those to connect. So it's like, this is an entirely different funnel now altogether. It's like, hey, if you've gotten them into your funnel, they're in your ecosystem, they're going through the indoctrination process, as we call it. They're getting familiar with you and your terminology and how you do things. And now maybe they trust you enough that they would actually want to work with you and have you do more for them. Okay, cool. Here's a chance where if you want us to do more for you, if you want us to work together, here's an application, because we can't take on everyone. We have a limited bandwidth, limited spots, limited seats, limited availability. See if it's going to be a good fit for us to work together in this capacity, and for us to invest in each other in that way. Right. So this could be an entirely different upsell from any of these. And you go through you can go through the same process, except this time they fill out the application. Maybe before the application there is a sales page without an order form. We'll get rid of the order form. Now we can connect these. Sales page, fill out the application. We're selling them the application pretty much. And then from there, it could be either a calendar or a phone call, from there. And in each of these stages, obviously, we want to be following up with people. I didn't mention that. It's like, hey, here's an email. And we're trying to use the follow-ups to get them down the line, further. Right. So
from your experience, like at what point is it valuable to have, like, click here to purchase now versus apply for this, or let us call you back or something like that, or here's an application form?
Yeah. So basically what you're asking is like, how do you know when to do which?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of it's going to depend on your audience. You definitely want to make sure you understand your audience well, and as well as possible, get an idea of, what matters to them, and kind of, and how they buy things, and so a really good way to do that would be like a survey to help you learn more about them. But this really is more for people who are like, this whole process up here is for people who are just getting introduced to you, maybe, or maybe they know you a little bit, but not that well. And you're making some sort of offer to them to help them learn more about you. And then this process would be more for people who are pretty well acquainted with you already. They may even be fans, and you're just giving them a chance to work with you on an even higher level. So just having an understanding of like, number one, what the end point is, where do you actually want them to end up? And what's the most, and then kind of reverse engineer from there. What's the most logical path they can take to get to that end point? So, for some audiences, it may be like, just go straight to the application, like just sell them on working with you. Let's just go straight to high ticket. And then other people, maybe they need to be indoctrinated a little bit more, as I mentioned before they get to that point. And there's no reason why you can't get paid before they get there. Right.
This sounds, for some people, getting indoctrinated sounds so bad. What would be like a nicer way of putting it? It's like,
I don't
they
mind
need to be more manipulated to get into your higher ticket.
Right.
Oh my God.
So just so we're clear, we are not manipulating people. When I say indoctrination, what I mean is we are getting people familiar with your doctrine, or basically helping them to come to understand your process for how you do things. Right. Like,
and just let me just interject here for everyone, because there's some people here who are watching who are coming from a helping, healing, coaching background, and for them, words like doctrine and indoctrinating and XYZ, they can't, they don't rub well with it. And really, in even simpler terms, I would say is like, getting people to see your way of thinking and your philosophy, I would say,
Yes,
it's like would be the best way to put it. Like, here's my philosophy. I believe in energies, and I'm using energies to help you achieve your goal, right? This is my philosophy. Whereas these guys, like, say, energy is bullshit. I have a very clear step-by-step process, very logical, that everybody can follow. And this is my philosophy. So you're indoctrinating people through your philosophy, kind of a thing. Am I right, Joseph? I don't want to take your words, but
you're 100% correct. We're not trying to manipulate people or ask them to do things they don't want to do. What we want to do is give them every chance to become familiar with, like you said, our philosophy, how we do things, our values, our core values, what matters to us, and make sure that they resonate with that. And if they don't, we want them gone. We don't want people in our sphere, in our circle, that don't resonate with our core values. That's how you get nightmare customers, and then your business becomes hell on earth.
Okay, gotcha.
So this whole process of basically, we want, just like you said, we want to take them through like everything about us, like what matters to us, our mannerisms, our character, and making sure that it speaks to them, pretty much. So that's a really good distinguish that. And, I do this every day. And so I forget sometimes that not ever, and that's true of all of us, right? Like whatever you do on a daily basis, you probably forget that other people don't know it the way that you do and speak the same language. Right. So, but yeah, that's really it as far as, an actual funnel. Was there anything else that I may have missed, or that you
no, I think we're good on this. I mean, for sure, some other questions will come up, but I think we're good on this front for the moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me just give you an example here really quick, of how this could look in action. I think, yes. Okay, cool. So this is a software we use called Smart Marketing. It's partnered with and built off of Go High Level. So basically it's our version of Go High Level. And so this is where, we build funnels for our clients. And just to give you guys an idea of what this actually looks like. So I can come over here to sites, and this is actually something. So I built a squeeze page for one of our customers here, but I want to see if I can find one that I built. Here we go. So this is a template. What's going on here? For some reason, it's not showing the main page there. So you can see here that I've built quite a few of these. We have a survey, like I mentioned, an application. Here's one that I built for one of my partners, Todd. There we go. So this would be like that first page, the opt-in page. So he put together a lead magnet about how to connect ChatGPT to your surveys. So basically, it was a free video that they could get access to. Just drop their email right there, and this is everything they'll be getting with that. Right. So they dropped their email right there, ready to do this. I may not have finished connecting this one on this page. I didn't. So then from here, they're taken to a thank you page where we deliver the video. So they can click play right there. And then it's like, so for us, we're actually still in the process of building out our whole value ladder, kind of like I demonstrated. The next step would be like, hey, you watch this video showing how to connect ChatGPT to your survey. If you want, go ahead and join us in the Smart Marketing family. So it's like, click that link right there, and then they're taken to, we actually have an in-between page for this now, but they can join us, for $200 a month. We include, regular coaching and the software itself, and tons of bonuses with all of that, a course and all that stuff that they just get as part of that. But that's just an example of how that works. So we don't necessarily put all of this on the exact same. You can see I only have 2 pages here. It's not the same as all of these, but
yeah,
from here we would just link it to like, just to give you an idea. So the one that I actually just barely finished it this morning, I'm pretty proud of it. This is our new sales page for Smart Marketing. And then from here, we've got a demo video, and then but from here, people can decide if they want to join us or not. And this is the course that they're getting, and all that type of stuff. So that would be the first step in our value ladder. And then from here, people can decide if they want to have us actually build their funnels for them. Like I mentioned before, they can decide if they want us to not only build their funnels, but they can bring us in as, a fractional CMO or chief marketing officer, where we'll actually operate their entire marketing, for them, their whole marketing department. We will be that and take care of that for them for a fraction of what it would cost to actually hire a CMO and train a bunch of people from the ground up to actually do that for you.
Yeah.
So that's this, but this is how we get people started on that path, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's how we're actually doing it ourselves.
So, there are people here, like I said, who they love what they're seeing, but like, how can I do this? Do I need all of this software? Is this something that I have to pay for? Can I do it without the software? What would be some of the answers you would have for these types of questions?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So, I mean, software makes things easier. But really, you could, if you wanted to, you could just get started very simply with something like Google Forms. If you're just absolutely strapped for cash and you don't have any resources at all. I've been there, by the way. Any resources at all to invest in anything that will make life easier. You can start generating leads with something like Google Forms if you absolutely have to. Now it's going to be harder. I mean, and you can set up like Stripe payment pages to make sales that won't take them through like the whole upsell downsell thing, but you can start making some money, right away, with that as well. And so no matter where you're at, either technologically or financially, there's some way to get started. Right. Now, the beauty of this software that I've demonstrated here for you guys with Smart Marketing is it's everything in one. So, you don't have to have a separate calendar solution that you plug in. You don't have to have a separate CRM solution that you plug in, or a separate, email marketing software or any of that. It's all in one place. And so you can cancel all the rest of them and just, it's all right here. So you don't need things like Zapier to duct tape things together, if that makes sense.
And so with Jeru, for instance, you basically have a visual of your funnel.
Yep.
But is that actually like, I still have to create the pages on my own website, right?
Right. So this is you can think of it like a 30,000 foot view of all of the pages. And then this is good both for planning for yourself, but also if you want to do this for other people, it's really good for pitching it to them. But for me, it's really good to have, think of it like if you're building a house and you have the blueprint done before you start, putting nails, and a hammer to wood, right? Like, you want to have the blueprint in place before you start laying the foundation and doing all that stuff. And that's what this pretty much is. So you start with the end in mind, and then you can lead to you can take them through a logical progression that leads to that logical conclusion.
Yeah. Gotcha. Awesome. Then from this point on, let's say, okay, I got it's like for instance, with the it's kind of like a mind map, what you just showed us, right?
Yeah.
So I can see the steps in my process. Um, can I see like what is the best source of traffic for me? Like how much does it cost from each source? Like for instance, if on my landing page I have several sources of traffic, can I find out which is the best one and which is the worst one? Can I find something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say probably the simplest way to do that would be creating duplicates of the pages and linking them to different places. So like I could have one version of this opt-in page that's only on Facebook, and then I could have another version of that page that's only on YouTube or only on TikTok or only on Instagram, and then just compare, like, hey, I'm running ads to this here, I'm running ads to this here, this one's doing way better for that. So I'm going to put more of my effort into this platform for this or whatever. So you can absolutely do that for sure.
Gotcha. So all right, so for this, what happens if I don't actually have a product?
I didn't have a product when I was first getting started with this. The simplest way to actually get started is to be an affiliate, in my opinion, because you don't have to provide support, you don't have to create a product. All you have to do is drive traffic. And so being an affiliate is a really good way to get started. It's how I got started. Because then the burden falls on the people that you're an affiliate for to fulfill and to do support and all of that stuff. That doesn't mean that you're completely cut out, and that obviously you want to make sure that everyone you sell it to is happy, and so you would want to have some sort of involvement as far as that goes, so they don't leave, so you don't lose that revenue. That's the simplest way, in my opinion, to get started if you don't have a product. But it's not as hard as people may think it is to actually create a product. If there's something that you're just good at or that you just enjoy doing, that there is also a demand for, you can turn that into a product. Like for me, I love just building funnels. Like I do it all day, and people think I'm a weirdo because I love doing this tech stuff. And so that's a product. People want me to do it because they don't want to mess with it. It overwhelms them. It makes them want to pull their hair out, throw the computer against the wall or whatever. But for me, I look at it and it gives me chills. Like I get excited, looking at this stuff. Like, oh, this is how this can come together and how I could do that. And, this is, all that stuff. Like I just geek out on it, and so just being self-aware and understanding what you're good at, what you like, and then trying to find a match between that and where the demand is, and putting them together. You have a product, and you can make sales.
So basically, you nerd out on stuff like that. Basically, that's what it is.
Yeah, I super nerd out on it, and people think I'm weird, but I don't care.
Yeah. What do they know? They don't know
exactly.
They know nothing. So for creating pages and building up your funnel, you did mention that before, but I would like to bring your attention back on that a little bit more now. So Jeru helps me have a visual representation, a visual map of my steps and funnels. And so what do you use to create the actual, to have the actual, funnel in place, the actual pages? How do you work with that?
Yeah, so I just use this this software that I mentioned, Smart Marketing. So
Smart Marketing.
I can create, a new funnel from right here, and we have a ton of templates and stuff, that we can get started with, which is what I recommended from the beginning. We don't, I like I said, I'm a nerd. I don't mind starting from scratch. A lot of people get really overwhelmed by that. So templates make it really easy for me. Templates are actually usually more work because I have to delete stuff and I have to change colors for stuff. I'd rather just start from scratch more often than I don't, especially when I'm finding pages like I showed you on the ad library. It's easier to start from scratch with something like that. But, just starting from right here and then, just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So we'll just say, create a funnel. It should be here at the top, I think. Maybe it's at the end. I can change the order these are in. Where did it go? I just created it.
It is mocking us.
It is. All right, well, I'm not gonna, oh, here it is right here. Okay, so we can create a new step. And what's cool is, I mentioned like modeling other, funnels with our software. What we can do is if you find a ClickFunnels link that you like, and you want to be able to model their design, you can just paste it right here and it'll import it. And then you just switch out the wording, the logos, and put your branding in there. And now that design, that flow is yours, which is super cool. So we'll just say Summit's landing page. We'll give it a link, a URL. So I can use an existing page or create from blank. Like I said, I'm a glutton for punishment, and I like to start from blank. So
glutton for punishment, that's a good one.
So now you have what's called, sections, and then you have rows, and you can have up to 6 columns per row. We'll just do 1. And then you can add headlines, subheadlines, paragraphs, bullet lists, videos, images, etc., etc. So like, let's just say, for this one, we want to include our logo, we'll just say, and then we want to include a headline. So we actually have a software built into smart marketing called Content AI, and with this you can actually use artificial intelligence to help you write it. If you have ChatGPT, that's really good too, but you don't have to like leave here to do it. We'll just say write a headline about my all-in-one CRM software. So now it gives me some variations or versions of, some headlines that I could get started with. So we'll just start with this one, and it just instantly pastes it there for me. And then we'll just say, we'll do a sub headline. We'll do Content AI again. We'll say, write a sub headline about my all-in-one CRM software. And there's different things that I can do with it. I can have it write in with certain voices, and I can be more specific with this, but we'll just do that, continue. And now it's got all of that stuff in there. And then I can mess with, the font and the size of everything and all that stuff, create different sizes for desktop versus mobile, et cetera, et cetera. And then, from here, I could add a form. So with forms, you create the form in a different space inside Smart Marketing, and then it just loads it right here. But we'll just, for our purposes, we'll just use one of the ones that's already here and then save that. So there you go. So email, and then they're ready to get started. And, I could obviously fluff this up even more if I wanted to. I could add, we'll say a different background, and I could add a border.
You can really go wild with this stuff, huh? You can like totally super customize it to the T.
Yep, exactly. So I can have all of that, and then I can add a certain background for the whole thing or just for that section. just make it look however I want it to look.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So
And so for people who feel overwhelmed by this, but they would like to have it, I guess the easiest way would be to reach out to you and say, hey, can you help me out with this stuff? I guess, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, I nerd out on it. It's yeah, it's what I enjoy doing. So if you don't, there's no reason to punish yourself.
It's like, give it to me to punish me.
You're right. Exactly.
That's so funny. Right. So let me ask you this. I know you have different programs. You mentioned you have some programs, some courses, some masterminds. For people who want to take this to the next level and they would like to learn more, to know more, how can they get in touch with you? And what kind of information can they learn further more from you?
Yeah. So if you want to get some more information, you can go to my my website. It's josephbcompton.com. Have some information there about how you can, if you want, have me, either train you and work with you or actually do this stuff for you, and all that type of stuff. So this is I think my calendar is on here too somewhere. Yeah. So you can book a call with me, if you need to for some reason or whatever.
Awesome. So everyone, if you want to go even deeper with this, if you want to learn from Joseph, or if you just want to go ahead and work with him or have him work with you, really, then go ahead and check out his website. He definitely knows his way around working with funnels and building funnels. And I am very happy because I got to know Joseph through online, of all places, right? Weird to meet somebody online today, right? So
Yeah.
so I got to meet him online, and I saw the kind of stuff he's putting out there, and he's got some amazing stuff. So I really am very happy that we've managed to get him involved with the summit. So go ahead and reach out to him. And Joseph, thank you so much for your presentation, and I'm looking forward for us to connect again for future events.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, everyone, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll see you after the break for the next session, or I'll see you tomorrow. It depends which comes first. Until then, stay happy, stay hydrated, stay hype, and I'll see you soon.